Welcome back. Now it's time for us to join popular pencil magician Malcolm Cudmore as he conjures up another art-backed project and demonstrates how to use contrast between light and dark tones to make your drawings look more realistic.
In pencil drawing, people often worry about techniques for shading, and they worry that it's technical and that it's quite difficult to achieve. Actually, I very rarely refer to shading. I like to talk about value because everything has value, i.e. light or darkness, whether it's in shade or not. And this is an exercise that I do regularly with my students to get them to help get them to look for value in the visual world. I have here just a regular pencil, it's a 2B as it happens, pencil and a piece of white paper. My first job is to try and make a small patch of value here, which is as heavy as I can possibly make it with this particular pencil. That's about as dark as I'm able to go with this particular pencil. It's quite a physical activity, this. Requires quite a lot of pressure. The next part of the exercise is to try now to make a similar patch of colour that is as light as I can possibly make it, using exactly the same pencil. Now, at the moment, I'm just using a single direction sort of hatching process. There are many ways to make these marks. So there we are. I've got a really dark value and I've got a very light value, both capable of being achieved with this single pencil. My next exercise is to try and make a patch of value in the centre here, which I judge to be somewhere in between the heavy one and the light one. Not bad. And now I'm going to fill in my chart with two additional values, one that's somewhere between the darkest and the middle one, and then the final one which is somewhere between the middle value and the lightest value. Part of this is about developing your muscle memory. I kind of know what it feels like to make a mid-value patch of tone with my pencil. I also know that it feels rather different to make a light value. So hopefully now, including the white bit of paper, that there's always a bit of reserved paper in a drawing, I've got 6 values. I call this one 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. 1 being no marks at all, just the paper showing through. And really, if I'm doing a drawing that represents something in the real world, probably my drawing is going to need to include elements of all of these values in it. Now, you can go for the physical approach, which involves muscle memory, or there's an alternative way to achieve the same result. I'm going to make 5 similar patches of value, but using a light, even pressure. So in the first instance, each of these patches of value looks pretty much the same. However, I'm now going to go over the first 4 of them with a second layer, trying to maintain a similar pressure, a fairly light, even stroke with the pencil. So stopping before I get to the last one. And then I'm repeating the process again. I'm going to go over the first 3 with an additional layer of shading or value, hatching. And just to finish the exercise, another layer for the first 2. And then finally, a last layer for the single first square. And I've achieved pretty much the same result. A lot of drawing involves layering, one layer on top of another. So that's 2 ways of creating a value chart that shows me exactly what the range of values are possible from this particular one pencil. If I used a really soft pencil, a 6B or an 8B, my darker marks would be darker, my lighter marks wouldn't be quite so light. If I used a harder pencil, say an HB or a 2H, then my lighter marks would be much, much more subtle, but I wouldn't be able to go so dark. Now, having worked out this little range, it's like a scale of notes almost for this pencil, I have to train myself to see the world as a set of distinct values. If I can do that and match those values that I see with the values that I know I can make with my pencil, then I'm probably going to end up with a pretty truthful drawing. One of the ways to help me to see value, it's highly technical this, is I squint. I close both eyes partially so that I'm looking through half-closed eyes through my eyelashes, and doing that it stops a lot of the information coming into my eyes, gets rid of an awful lot of the detail, and helps me to see whether things are essentially light or essentially dark. And if I can see the world without too much detail as a distinct set of values, let's say 6, then I know that with the pencil I can achieve those values, I'm going to get a great picture.
Thanks, Malcolm. That's a really simple exercise to show how charting the tonal range can really add a sense of depth and realism to your drawings. Okay, it's nearly time to reveal the lucky winner of our recent summer competition, but before we do, let's try to solve a few more of your artistic dilemmas. Let's start with this question about Atelier Interactive Acrylics. This question: I often use acrylics as a base before an oil painting. Can I use Atelier acrylics in the same way? The simple answer to this is yes, although Atelier Interactive Acrylics have an unlocking capability, you can still perfectly fine use them as a base prime for your oil painting, no problem whatsoever. Second question for today is about protecting your watercolour paintings. Basically, is it necessary to preserve the colours using a lacquer or varnish? This is something I'm asked quite a lot, and there are lots of choices for protecting your finished watercolour paintings, although this should not really be varnished, as this is really absorbent and it can discolour the painting. You can get a proper watercolour fixative in like a spray form, but I don't use these. I've been painting for many years, use a good quality watercolour paper and good quality artist paints, and you shouldn't have any problems. Best bit of advice, if you're really concerned, is use a UV filter protected glass which the framer will put on for you, and this will protect it for many, many, many years. Well folks, it's time to reveal the lucky winner of our recent summer competition being run in partnership with the SAA. We asked, what is plein air painting? Is it A, painting clouds and skies, B, painting outdoors, or C, painting in a non-fussy style? And the answer of course is B, painting outdoors. Plein air is a French expression that means in the open air. Thanks to all of you who took part and time to enter. We've been absolutely amazed by the number of entries we received. So time to announce the lucky winner. The winning entry drawn at random is William Ditty from Dalkeith, who wins the SAA Lightweight Director Style Artist Chair and a fantastic fold-out artist carry case worth over £57. Massive congratulations from all of us here at A Splash of Paint. Well, we've enjoyed getting closer to some of your favourite TV artists, and that we've encouraged you to try something new. Remember, if you want to share your work or interact with thousands of people who share your passion for painting, log on to www.saa.co.uk and look for the Community tab. In the meantime, we look forward to you joining us for another Splash of Paint packed full of inspirational advice and top tips to support you on your artistic journey. I'll see you again very soon.
For a free splash of the bi-monthly Paint magazine, packed full of stimulating step-by-step guides, fantastic features and artistic advice from all your favourite TV artists, visit www.saa.co.uk.